This is Barnaby Estate, a site of great prestige and nobility. Created in 1839 by Marquis Barnaby Lobsworth III of Cornwall, it hosted a multitude of extravagant events until its complete and utter obliteration in World War II. Well, it's a jolly good thing we've set this motion picture in the mansion next door, Motwood Manor.
Gerald?
Yes, Mr. Motwood?
Do you know how long this house has been standing, Gerald?
100 years, Mr. Motwood.
Correct. Just 1 year shy of that darn Barnaby estate. Nothing good ever came from that Lobsworth idiot, let me tell you that. What was that noise, Gerald?
It was most likely the complete and utter obliteration of Barnaby Estate in World War II.
I'd forgotten there was a war going on. Anyway, back to my point. To celebrate the 100-year anniversary of Motwood Manor, there shall be a party. I would like you and your team of butlers to start preparations immediately.
We do not have a team of butlers, Mr. Motwood.
What?
They have been conscripted, Mr. Motwood.
Conscripted?
The war, Mr. Motwood.
Oh, the stinking war. Damn the French.
The Germans, Mr. Motwood.
I don't care, Gerald. Just get on with planning the party.
Yes, Mr. Motwood.
Damn French. No one cares about the cheese and mustard. Stupid.
All guests have been invited, Mr. Motwood.
Good.
The door, Mr. Motwood.
Yes, I know, Gerald.
Shall I answer the door, Mr. Motwood?
Yes, you can answer the door, Gerald.
Charlikins!
Mother! Oh.
Have you seen Barnaby Estate, Charlie?
As a matter of fact,
It seems to have looks like to have been completely and utterly obliterated in World War II.
Obliterated, Mrs. Motwood.
Yeah.
The door, Mr. Motwood.
yes, Gerald, I know.
Shall I answer the door?
Yes. Charles Motwood! Ah, Benedict Trey. I've not seen you in a good while. When was last we met?
Well, to my recollection, it was back at Charstead Hall.
Really? I'm sure it was at Pluckmar College.
That's what I said.
Right. Well, those really were the golden days.
What do you do now?
Well,
How peculiar. The door, Mr. Motwood.
Wait a moment, Gerald. In the limited time we had to organise, I understand you were only able to invite 2 guests to the party. I do find another visitor
Rather discombobulating. Would you like me to answer the door anyhow, Mr. Motwood?
Well, I don't see why not. Hello. Apologies for the inconveniences. I was flying my plane back from completely and utterly obliterating Barnaby Estate in World War II.
Oh, gosh.
Then my plane crashed, so
Oh gosh.
could I stay here for a bit to escape the home guard? Gerald, show this man to elsewhere whilst we make our decision on what to do.
Auf diese Weise, Sir.
Danke. What does everyone think that we should do? I, for one, say that since this man is the enemy, we must not assist him in his mission.
Much agreed.
I agree, Mr. Motwood.
Actually, I think he was quite
Well, I think that's settled then. Gerald, bring him back in. We have news. We have made our decision. Excuse me, what was your name? Otto. Ah. We have made our decision, Otto. We cannot assist you, as doing so would be assisting the enemy at war. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, I shall go back to invading France. Wait a minute. Invading France? Phew. That soup was delicious. Only the finest dishes are served for guests at Motwood Manor. May I have a proper introduction to everybody here? Ah, of course. I am Mr. Motwood, the owner of the house. This is my mother, Brenda, and this is a very old friend of mine, Mr. Trey. Good afternoon, Otto. He now works as a automobile salesman. Ah, motor car driving, the sport of kings.
I thought that was horse racing.
Well, one might consider motor
I
car...
rather like horses. Apart from that one time in 1923 when Charlie stood behind one, they were quite high-powered, strapped behind their hooves, if you did not know.
Mother.
Poor Charlie couldn't go to the toilet for the rest of
Mother, I thought we had made an agreement to not mention that incident ever again. Huh. I simply must. I shall answer that. Mr. Trey? Yes? I would like to hear more about your cars. They sound very interesting. Oh, absolutely. Come and join me in the drawing room.
Where's everyone gone? Oh.
Mr. Motwood, the phone is still ringing. Is it the government again? Shall I cut the wires? Mr. Good Lord.
Who could have done this?
Well, I think it was Otto.
What?
Your knife is still in the body.
This is so obviously a framing of me.
Everybody, calm down. We cannot solve this on our own. We need to wait for professional help. I'm glad you asked. Who are you? I am Chief Detective Joseph Clonquet, and I have been summoned here to solve a murder case.
The murder case is Charlie, right?
Actually, no. The original reason of me being here was to solve the case of the missing goldfish of Miss Johnson down the road, but I thought I might as well solve this one while I'm here. Why not? I think we're getting sidetracked. Can we please focus our attention on the case at hand? Oui. We must get into that. This time, for some questions and answers. Gerald, am I right in saying that you are the head butler here?
Yes, that is correct.
And is that because you are the only butler here?
Of course not. I was personally chosen by the late Mr. Motwood to lead his expert team of butlers.
And that team of butlers was conscripted, yes?
Yes.
Interesting.
How so?
Well, Gerald, have you ever heard the phrase, the butler did it?
Oh, charming.
Brenda Motwood, unassuming at first, but perhaps there is some hidden stealth and secrecy. Parfait for a murder. You could be plotting your next move, watching, listening, waiting. I find you very intriguing, Mrs. Motwood. I have a mystery to solve, and I will not stop or rest until I've found everybody's place in it, including yours. So then, Brenda Motwood, tell me, what is your story?
Brenda?
What?
You're free to go. Bonjour, the notorious Benedict Trey.
Yes, that is I.
As you can probably tell, I'm a fan of the chess championships, including your many wins.
So, of course, some great achievements there. I'm a chess master.
Anyway, do you perhaps have any knowledge on the murder?
As a matter of fact, I do. It was Otto. I saw him do it. Kind of.
Tell me more.
Well, Otto and I were in the drawing room, talking about car engines and playing chess. I was winning, obviously, but he didn't like that. He flipped the board, and while I was picking up the pieces, he'd run off. And when I come back, I see Mr. Motwood's body on the floor with Otto's knife stuck in his chest.
Thank you very much, Mr. Trey. This will aid my investigation a lot.
It's been a pleasure.
Otto, the unexpected guest. I have heard about your alleged role in the murder, and I would like to hear your side of the story. What do you know?
Well, I know who did it.
Tell me more.
It was Mr. Trey. I saw him do it. Kind of.
Describe the scene.
Well, Trey and I were in the drawing room, talking about car engines and playing drafts. Then I was winning the drafts, surprisingly, but he did not like that. He flipped the board. He took my survivor knife and then he's gone. Then we find Mr. Motwood's body on the floor.
Whoa. Through my detective questioning, I have successfully narrowed the 4 suspects down to only 2. However, there is still a conundrum at large. 2 very similar stories in evidence, but both of them lead to different directions. Detective, are you busy? Oh, I did not notice you. I was monologuing. It is all the best detectives do it. It is fine. It is normal. I'm not weird.
Right. I was just going to clean this room. There were games pieces all over the floor. You were right. Oh. The evidence, there's lots. Thank you so much, Gerald. I could not have done this without you.
Thanks to your answers, I have narrowed the suspects down to 2. First suspect, Otto. Surprise, surprise. Second suspect, Mr. Trey. Some further discoveries led me to a conclusion. The murderer is Mr. Trey. No! I'm free. Otto, I think you forget that you are still an enemy soldier. Oh! I think you are forgetting that ever since 15 minutes ago, France has been occupied by Germany. You are on my team now. That's not how war works. But how did you figure it out? The plan I made, my plan, the plan that I made, it was a really difficult plan, and it was really good, really hard to do. It was a pretty good plan, I will admit. Thank you! Thank you. But it had a few gaps. Firstly, in your telling of the story, Otto was the murderer and you were playing chess. In Otto's telling of the story, however, you, Mr. Trey, was the murderer and you were playing drafts. Only one could be true.
But how did you know it was not Otto?
I'm getting to that. In the drawing room, scattered across the floor, there were draft pieces proving Otto's story true and the murderer as Mr. Trey. If, Mr. Trey, that is your real name.
What? This is outrageous. I'm Benedict Trey.
I wouldn't be so sure. The real Mr. Trey is not only a master of the chess, he is a master of the drafts as well. He would not lose to a casual player like Otto, as happened in his telling of this story. At least, the real one wouldn't. Barnaby Lobsworth the Seventh, the disdainful neighbor, intent on killing the competition.
And that's why you framed me. Because I completely and utterly obliterated my house in World War II. I don't believe it. You found out all that for a single game of drafts.
Well, that and the fact that the actual Mr. Trey is right there. Huh, I see. Anyway, off to prison you go, and Otto, let's get you back to Germany. A game of chess, sir?
Goody.
you.